welcome back to the Nose Plays. We're going to continue our game of Total War Warhammer. Unfortunately, it appears that the end of my last battle got cut off. Not much happened after that. I basically...
I am Prince and Emperor.
Basically ended up taking Ubersreich. And we're getting close to ending the turn. I don't think too much else happened. The place that the video cut off that I saw basically showed the end of the battle. So there wasn't much that happened after that. Basically routed all their troops, and I quickly ended the battle instead of running them down because it was a siege of a settlement, and that instantly wipes them out because they can't retreat. Now it does look like this might be the army that ambushed us, and they did get an opportunity to retreat. I could have ran them down instead of attacking Ubersreich, but I went ahead and attacked Ubersreich instead, so we could get this settlement under our control. There's a couple of things that we need to do before we end the turn. One thing we can do is we can recruit some more units if we'd like to, which I think I would. Also, we've got another couple of points, and I think I actually gained a skill point after the first battle, but didn't apply it. And so now we have 2 skill points. So I could potentially put both points into Iron Disciplinarian. That's probably what I want to do. Untainted is also pretty helpful because we're going to be dealing with some Skaven corruption. I think we need 4 points in this before we can grab Irrepressible. And then move up to Lightning Strike. So I could do like 2 and 2, or I could do 3 and 1. Let me jump out of this menu real quick. And let's take a look at our comments. So we can see that we're still having some trouble with public order. But if I go to...
Bring me to my men.
Here we go. So we can see that Skaven corruption is increasing by 1% every turn, and our untainted or whatever is decreasing by 1% a turn. So I'm going to try putting a point into that instead.
Summon the Elector Counts.
So it's going to put 1 point into that.
I command here.
And that was not enough to change it. Interesting. That will take effect next turn. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and assign his other.
Is it time?
We'll go ahead and put a point in there. And then I'll decide whether I want to go 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. Okay, the conquest is what's causing this to be negative. That'll only count for 1 turn, so we'll be fine after that. Franz will heal most of the damage off, and so will the rest of our characters. We should definitely consider recruiting some more units. And I think what I'd like to do is get a second one of those and 2 more of these. Puts me at 16. That's probably a good place to stop. We have some heroes that we'll probably introduce into this army, including the wizard, which we still need to do. But this should be good. Okay. So that'll be done. That gives me 2 units to flank, and then my cavalry on the other side. 1 set of spearmen to cover each flank, and 3 swordsmen in the front line. That's probably enough to deal with most of the early enemy armies for sure. So we can't really do anything here. So I guess the last thing to do is see if we've made any improvement on some of these guys. So we got 3 trade routes going here. Nordland, there is the potential for a trade route.
Come then. Only Sigma's god, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or no.
Right.
On it!
Sweet. Securing that trade route will also allow us to finish a quest that we had. So that's awesome. The Golden Order's trade route is currently blocked.
Who calls? Come then. Only Sigma's god, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or no.
Stirland's actually really close to us. This is another one where we really want to develop good relations with them as quickly as possible. Relations are improving. We can get rid of the treaty with Sylvania, which would help. So we'll be doing that soon.
Yes?
Let's see how close we are.
It is good to see fellow sons of the Empire this day. I refuse.
Not likely to happen. Every once in a while I've seen a red one actually go through. So I always... shouldn't say always, but I occasionally try.
In faith.
I would like to at least get a non-aggression
What
pact
does
with
the
these
Emperor
guys.
need that he cannot already find?
Very well.
They kind of defend this area, and so they're less likely to attack us and expand into it.
What?
Huck.
Welcome, my countrymen.
Alright, we're fine. With them. Ostermark.
The Empire. Approach and make your offer. I don't agree. So,
Osterland.
greetings, my countrymen. You
No.
No!
Not quite there yet with them. The dwarves. I'll
Who
pass.
calls? Surely an agreement will be reached. I will not obey.
Okay. And I believe these are the guys that we did give a gift to? Yeah. So that will help with them for a little bit. Cool. We're getting really close to securing something else that I would like to do.
All right. Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what brings you here? I will not obey.
Alright, that's good enough for now. We got the Beast Slayer. Trade agreement has been secured. Quest issue. You have one of the following units. Suitsen's guns. Mortars. And the following Lord's army. Norscan activity in the Sea of Claws increases. I've done this battle before. It's actually not too hard. We just need to get in order in our army. Is a regiment of renown is it this one? Yeah, I'm not sure which one it is, but there is a regiment of renown, I believe, that is the Warders. I might not have that unlocked, to be perfectly honest. Okay, we're 2 turns away from getting this done, which is good. That will help a little bit with the public order situation and the growth. We do have the ability to build a few things. And also, since we now have Uberstrike, we have 2 copies of this. We don't need that any longer, so we can demolish this one. And we can also build a couple. And one of the things that I like to build quickly, because we're doing all these trade routes, is getting our clay upgraded, which is good. And then the first building that I always like to get is the growth building, but also the roads are really helpful for getting your armies around in your main area, and so that's not a bad one to grab either. But plus 20 growth is really helpful, and you need a lot of growth buildings early on in order to get your main facilities upgraded, because they require the population points. So we'll spend a lot of time building growth buildings at the beginning of the game. Okay, so now that that's been handled, I have a nice stack of money. We're going to spend a bunch of it here soon.
I am Prince and Emperor.
As of right now, I think we're pretty much done with this turn. So, go up here, we can see that we're getting roughly 236 from trade routes. That's going to go up moderately once we get the clay pits built and upgraded, so that'll help. And there's a few other things we can do to improve trade. Alright, I think this is a good place to go ahead and end this turn. So they ran up to Isleheart, and then they disappeared. So they're probably ambushing again, which is fine. What we'll probably do is
bring me to my men.
Take Helmgart first. I'm not even concerned if they ambush us, actually. We can actually attack Isleheart right now. So I think that's what we're going to do, actually. We're going to secure that right away. Before I do that, though, there is another opportunity to build. We should definitely take advantage of it. I'm going to save my points for upgrading this as soon as possible. But get either the weaving house or the paved road. Weaving house generates more income, paved road generates more growth and provides more army movement in our own territory. I think we'll go ahead with this first, and then the road next. I can also go ahead and do that, which I should do. But we're going to save, again, our population point for this, so I'm not going to be building there, so we can skip that notification.
Who calls?
And then our army has not moved yet, so we definitely want to move him and attack Isleheart. Again, there's a very good chance we... Well, not a very good chance, but there is a chance we'll be ambushed by a very inferior army. Not too worried about that. Is there anything I want to do before I attack? Not that I can think of.
No peace, just war.
Okay, so yeah, they didn't actually ambush, they just moved out of sight. Let's jump in it. Hopefully we don't lose our connection again. I did go ahead and reset my modem and router a little earlier this evening, so hopefully that improves the situation. But I really don't understand what's causing the internet drops. I have checked all the wiring and done speed checks and everything else, and I just continue to have these very intermittent drops, which is very frustrating. Okay, let's get this army set up the way that I like it set up. So
our weapons are yours!
put him over there.
Free company!
Those guys over there. Actually, let's just
The Empire endures! State troops ready! Spearmen!
Spearmen on the flanks. Let's see.
Swordsmen!
Take the swordsman. Middle. Take the halberds. Put them in the back with the
The
Franz.
Empire endures! Taking aim!
Pistols and crossbows.
Crossbows ready, General!
And keep them in the back. These guys over here.
Conditions acceptable!
And the archers can be in front. Just bring these guys back a few paces.
The Empire endures!
The swordsman.
By Ulrich's wrath! Ready for war! By Ulrich's wrath!
Alright, then we'll just need to spread these guys out a little bit so
Swordsmen!
that they can squeeze
Taking
through.
aim!
Might need to widen this up
Spearmen!
just a bit.
Reichsguard! Conditions acceptable! Spearmen! Taking aim! We are ready! By Ulrich's wrath! Halberdiers! By Ulrich's wrath! Swordsmen!
Alright, sorry this is taking a little longer.
Ranald's aim! We're ready! Ready for war! Sigmar guides us!
Actually, I can put them... I can't quite put them that far. But we can actually set them out here a little ways.
We are Sigmar's heirs! We are Sigmar's heirs! Weapons at the ready!
Alright, that's probably good. Alright, so let's grab this whole force and just send them in this general direction. Let's send these guys around that way. That's probably good enough for now. so the very first thing that I want to happen is I want all of the units that don't have shields to be softened up by our arrows. So again, I'm going to take these 2 units and we're going to have them target that. And I'm going to have these 2 units target these spearmen here. Sending spears this way.
Moving now! At speed! In the name of the twin-tailed comet! To battle! Sir! Yes, my lord! Yes, sir, quickly! Yes, sir! Glory to the Empire!
Let's see if they just stand there.
Quick march! To battle! For the Warhammer! No lingering!
Alright, let's go ahead and get the rest of my units here engaging the enemy. So, we'll put those guys over there. Those guys into that. I'm just going to send those guys in that way. Those guys there. Karl, Franz there. Alright, that's good enough.
Spearmen! Go! Strike them down! Ready to fire! Prepare for combat! WARHAMMER! Spearmen! Rexguard Knights! Yes, sir, quickly! Moving now! Now! Halberdiers!
Halberdiers on there.
Crossbowmen! Halberdiers!
Back at this unit.
Swordsmen! Quick march! For Franz!
Alright, cool. This will be over any second now.
Rexguard Knights!
Get the knights out of
Go!
combat with whatever they're fighting. They're getting beat up.
Formation march!
Let's see if we can get a rear charge on these
Yes,
guys.
my lord!
Alright, we can just end this one because this was a settlement battle. No need to delay it. He should be dead. Not too many losses. So far, so good. That should put us with the entire province of Reichland. So now we have the option of setting public order. Enemy hero action and untainted. Tax rate. Growth and income from trade faction-wide, which is really cool. Recruitment cost and local recruitment capacity. This one's really helpful when you're trying to build an army quickly. So switching these around can be really helpful. We're going to go ahead and enact the trade and growth one for the short term. we're one turn away from getting that complete. I'm not going to be building any of these out just yet. It's going to take me 5 turns to get an extra population surplus point at my current rate of growth. So that means in 5 turns or less, I should be able to grab this, and this is a very important upgrade, which unlocks a lot of cool stuff that we really need to get to as soon as possible. This is also the most defensible city we have. Any of these other ones could get attacked and sacked, and any progress that we make constantly gets reset if we can't defend them. So we want to get a little bit stronger before we invest too much into those cities. But as far as Altdorf is concerned, we definitely want to get it growing. So we're going to delay upgrading these in an effort to upgrade this settlement more quickly. That's my current plan, so we'll skip that. Unassigned skill points, so we leveled up again.
I am Prince and Emperor.
And now I actually want to... Let's see here. Okay, it looks like now we're holding steady. So it doesn't look like we necessarily need more of the anti-corruption just yet. But if I wanted it to go back the other way, I would need to increase it by another point. Let's look at our public order. So the conquest is going to fall off, which puts us at 8 public order. Right now we're providing more than that. So yeah, we should be fine on public order. So I think I am actually going to put the second point into the untainted.
I command here.
Alright. Now...
Bring me to my men.
Again, it doesn't look like I have any movement.
Men, I will fight with you.
I did move out of the province.
Summon the Elector Counts. On march!
I think we'll just stay in the province, though. I get a little bit more healing by staying in the province than I do for coming out. And I don't have enough movement to run these guys down. This should be their last army. And then they still hold this, but they can't really grow armies here, I don't think. So we should be able to take them out pretty quickly. 1 turn away from that. Alright. Back to the diplomacy screen. Let's see if there's any progress being made.
Approach us, friend, and make your offer.
Here we go.
Sigmar's will.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to scroll down to the next one.
What?
Midland.
Come then. Only Sigmar's god, Ulrich, can
Still
judge it
not
worthy
there,
or
but
no.
you can see we're moving up. So now we're at 11. We'll improve to 34 next turn. We're getting very, very close to having the ability to get these guys, like I said, right around turn 5 or 6, to sign a trade agreement, which will be awesome. No trade agreements with any of these folk, but we could.
Who calls? Greetings, my countrymen. Not likely.
Not close enough for that one yet.
Yes? Surely an agreement will be reached. But
I will not obey. The Empire.
This is the one
approach
I
and
would
make
really
your
like
offer.
to see.
We cannot.
Okay. Miriamburg.
All right. Greetings on behalf of the Empire. I will not obey.
Alright, and that's pretty much it for now. So, we got another trade. So what are we at now for trading? We're at almost 300 on trade, so that's good. Altdorf will have the clay pottery up in 1 turn, so that'll increase our trade routes marginally. And our money is growing quite nicely. So far, pretty happy with everything. Nothing seems to be problematic yet. We are going to have to start worrying about the Crooked Moon and the Skull Smashes coming down, I think. Yeah. Do we have any sight on them yet? We just know their location. But those guys usually come in right around now and cause some problems. So we may see them very shortly and have to deal with some orcs, which is fine. I don't see that being much of a problem. Go ahead and end the turn. Turns are getting a little bit longer, but they still go pretty quick compared to what they used to. Technology researched. So we now have this done, plus 10 growth, plus 2 public orders. So that's going to really solve our public order problems. If we come over here and we look, we can see that our public order is now increasing. So we're currently at -13, but we're changing by +8 per turn. And so our public order will eventually stabilize. Provincial instability is reducing by 1 every turn, and there's only 2 left, so in 2 more turns that'll be completely gone. And then we have a little bit of corruption, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually growing again. So we're actually losing, even with the extra point that we put in Untainted. We have the ability to upgrade this to tier 2, so we should definitely do that. We are going to hold off on this again. Notice we were, I think it said 5 turns before, but now because we have more growth buildings completed, we're down to 3 turns. So we actually skipped a turn before we get our next population surplus point, and we can do this. So that's looking like around turn 9, maybe a little sooner. Also, look at our trade now. Getting those extra pottery buildings completed and then upgrading it again will be even more. So now we're at 500 on trade. So I really like opening the game this way. I don't know if this is optimal for the long term, but it definitely seems to work for me. One thing that I neglected to do at the end of that turn is I did not recruit a couple more people, which we could have done and probably should have done. But let's go ahead and attack this guy first.
Men, we must attack.
Okay.
Onwards!
So he retreated.
I am Prince and Emperor.
So he will not be able to retreat again. Okay. It's literally just this character. That's kind of hilarious. So I'm curious why it doesn't show me my casualties. Sometimes these things flash red when they'll show you casualties, and other times they don't. I mean, we'll just fight it. I don't want to lose any units. There's no reason to. We can literally just finish him off with archers.
Free company! Sigma guides us!
What am I doing wrong here?
By go,
Too far.
Miraz!
I can put him right there. Alright, we'll put them right there.
I will not stand idle.
For the twin-tailed comet!
For Heldenhammer. Detachments move.
He's almost gonna run away now. Come all the missiles. And that's it. You dead. Easy peasy. Not sure how much experience anybody gets for that, but I never actually paid much attention to whether units get experience solely based on the number of kills they get, or if it's a combination of what the army kills versus what they kill, or if everybody just gets experience every time. It seems like heroes get experience just for leading the army. Whether they do a significant amount or not. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Got another rank.
My orders are to move. I command here.
How much movement do I have left? So...
Onwards!
I guess I'll just move back here. I could move at a forced march pace. Forced march pace? Grab irrepressible. And get a little bit closer to this.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Yeah, it's gonna take us 2 turns if I don't force march.
Yes, to unite the provinces.
The only concern is I need to collect at least 2 more units. I can do that, actually. Okay, so let's go with one of those. I'm debating. Do I want a couple more free company militia? They are kind of useful for flanking. I haven't had a real need for the spearmen on the sides, but a couple of spearmen on the sides wouldn't be a bad idea either, just so we have 2 units protecting our flank at some point. Not super critical right now, but as we get into the later stages of the game where we start encountering cavalry, having more spearmen is definitely going to be important. So maybe we just grab them now. They're also cheap. But is that enough ranged units? I think we need another archer. I like that a little bit better, and then the wizard will fill us out. Okay, now I should be able, since my character's on the map, to teleport to Battle of the Blood Pines.
Who calls?
The required character is in
By
a
the
stance.
comet.
What stance am I in?
Bring me to my men.
Is it because I'm mustering? It must be because we're mustering. So if we stop mustering, now I can teleport. Okay, cool. So we'll do that in just a second. So here's where I make my first big decision after taking what is pretty easily, in my opinion, one of the better first choices. Because we have a bunch of money, I have all of these options down here. And because the style of play that I have chosen to do, I like to go ahead and pick, which one is it? Here we go. Emissary to the Prince of Altdorf. So what this does is this increases diplomatic relations with all the kingdoms of men by 25. This includes Empire, Kislev, and Southern Realms. And this is what's going to allow us, in addition to the gifts that we gave to Mindenheim and some of the other elector counts, basically get everybody on the Franz train in terms of military alliances and trade routes with us. So we're going to go ahead and pick this one. This only takes one turn to do. It's just very, very expensive. But we have plenty of money. So that's one of the reasons why I built up such a big stockpile of cash, is to go ahead and get that done. And then from this point forward, we're going to be able to very quickly secure at least non-aggression pacts, if not trade routes, with just about every human settlement in the game. And then we can kind of just take our time from there. Altdorf is still waiting. So we're going to skip that notification again. And then the last thing we're going to do at the end of this turn is this battle. So we are going to teleport in here and get this done, get our battle wizard before we finish up. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, we want to teleport. We can fight this battle. You're not allowed to auto-resolve these. Kind of frustrating, but I would probably auto-resolve anyways at this point in the game. This is really your first clash with artillery weapons. And because it's in an ambush scenario, it's actually a really easy battle.
Come, men! It seems Todbringer sends his midden wolves across the Reich to test our mettle.
We're gonna skip that. Okay, so he's got all of his stuff here. We can attack all of this from the rear really easily. So let's see, where do I want to deploy? I can actually deploy on either side of the hill here. So kind of what I'm thinking.
For Heldenhammer! Swordsman!
Let's have the swordsman on this side. Oops.
Ready for war!
Swordsman on that side. Let's have the spearmen
Spearmen!
on this side.
For Heldenhammer! We are Sigmar's heirs! The Empire endures!
Get them on this side. I'll put the halberdiers over here as well. Actually, let's put the halberdiers towards the front so that they can probably get in a fight with the leader. We'll just sandwich them in this way. And then all of my ranged units, maybe minus the free company.
At your service!
So
For Heldenhammer!
let's get these units over here.
Axeman! Free company!
Where do I want these guys? Let's actually put them over here. Alright, and then all of the
Taking
archers.
aim!
Yeah, that's good enough. Karl, Franz. Put you right there. And then those guys can be right there. What do we got here? You guys can fight that. Let's get the knights into them. Get the free company. Let's get one on each of these. Like that. All of our archers can focus on... we'll get some of the archers over there. On those archers, these guys can focus on spearmen. These two can focus on the leader. We're going to get Franz in there on the leader. We're going to get these guys to sort of sandwich them like that. Alright. And let's get it on.
General! No lingering! Moving now! To battle! Reichsguard Knights! Go! For the Helden Hammer! Quickly! Yes, my lord! Take the ground! Taking position! Ah!
Alright, enemy reinforcements are incoming, so we'll need to regroup. Let's get
Reichsguard Knights! Militia! Take aim! Yes, sir! Quickly!
Where are
Charge! Spearmen! Fight them! To me, men! The Empire endures! Moving faster!
Alright. Need to rotate the camera here a little bit, so we can get a better idea of what's going on here.
The Empire endures! Missiles will fly! For Franz! Quick march!
These guys go
By
that
Gol
way.
Maraz! For Skull Splitter! Go! Swordsmen! Go! Sigma! Yes, General!
Alright.
Reichsguard Knights!
Oh, why are we not moving here?
Sigma!
Let's charge these guys. Get as much damage as we can.
For the Warhammer! At speed!
out a fight.
Take the ground! No lingering!
Let's go, guys.
Reichsguard! Reichsguard Knights!
Let's go.
We await your orders! Yes, sir! Quickly! Get them!
Go back in for a charge.
Armed and ready! The skull splitter!
Conditions acceptable! Yes, sir!
Swordsman in there.
Reichsguard!
These guys
To
are
battle!
not fighting very well against these swordsmen.
At speed!
Going in the battle. Gotta be careful with my one cavalry unit. I tend to get them stuck in combat much too long. They need to do more hammer and anvil. Charges are where they really excel. Alright, so we should get our battle wizard. Let's see what kind of wizard we got. 400 gold. Half a level gained. Maybe more like 2/3. We could go treasury, leadership, or replenish. I don't think we're in danger of needing the replenishment for an immediate battle. So I think we're going to take the money.
I see no other option.
Alright, and we got a Jade Wizard. I'm not real good with using the magic and the wizards and stuff. We'll see what kind of spells he has and see if we can't make him useful and try to use them a little bit more frequently. But this is now completed, so 200 prestige, a sword of striking, some good stuff. We should probably look at our characters and see if we can outfit any of them. I believe he is in Altdorf. Yeah, so in order for the wizard to be useful, we're going to have to move him into one of our armies. But let's just take a look at him and see what we have. So he has 0 skill points. So I can get the spell Awakening of the Wood. Causes minor magical damage, large explosion area, weak against armor, reduces the speed of enemies. Cannot target flying creatures. Life Blue restores health of units. Earth Blood restores more. Shield of Thorns, good against AP damage, plus physical resistance, plus base weapon damage. Stone to Flesh just adds a massive amount of armor. Evasion is just good. Okay. I'm not sure how many of these spells I would actually use very often. Like I said, I'm not real good about using spells. If I did want to make him more of like a scout, so we can steal technology, which increases our research rate. I don't think that's really something I want to do, so we'll probably end up making him a combat wizard of some sort. Let's see here. So we've got a couple of different weapons that we can use. Karl Franz is using the Dragon's Tooth, which means that this sort of striking is available. So we can throw that on him. We don't have any talismans. We don't have any enchanted items. We don't have any arcane items. We don't have any mounts. But we do have a couple of followers. An apprentice wizard. That makes more sense to have on our wizard, I think, than it does to have on Karl Franz. So, yes. And then the scribe campaign movement, I'll leave that on Franz. Being able to move around more with your army is actually really helpful. And we'll go with that. Okay, so let's see. How do I want to move him? I think I want to move him down this way.
Traveling on.
And see if he can't get us some intel on what's going on down here. Doesn't look like anything too bad. Scarstick's army's not too huge.
Summon the Elector Counts!
And then, since we're out of movement, we can still recruit what I was going to recruit before, which I think was going to be 2 spearmen and another archer. But it might even just be 2 archers and a single swordsman. Let's get 4 swordsmen. 4 makes a pretty good front line. Let's get 5 of the archers. That splits the front line so that I have 4 gaps in my 5 archers across the front. And then for the 5th and final point, maybe we grab another one of these. These are actually really useful. I think that's fine. That feels like a pretty well-balanced army. We could definitely use a little more cavalry, but we won't be able to get that for a little while. Building-wise, where are we at? Altdorf still can't upgrade anything just yet. And we're still 3 turns away, like I said, from getting the main upgrade that we want. So we're going to skip that notification again and move right on to good old diplomacy. So I don't think there's a whole lot.
My glacial majesty Katarina bids you welcome.
No. Kislev is fine. Sterling has military access, which is fine.
So,
Is there anything we
friendship
can
is
offer them?
more valuable than gold, or so they tell me.
Let's see if we could get any kind of a payment out of them. That's a high chance of success. Let's add a little bit more to that. Low chance of success. How about 600? Moderate chance of success.
Fine.
Very nice. Alright, let's see if we can get any more money out of anybody else.
What?
Midland.
By Sigma's will, come in peace.
Still not
Disagree
there
with
on
that?
these guys. Yeah, next turn things are going to look a lot better with these guys. It's unlikely we're going to improve any of these guys below this mark here. They're just not likely to accept.
I will listen, but my time is short.
I will not obey.
If they don't do it this turn, they're almost certainly going to do it next
The
turn.
Empire. Greetings, my countrymen. You come in peace?
No. No!
It's really close on some of these.
Who
Just
calls?
not quite
Approach
there
and
yet.
make your offer.
Never!
Alright, we're just gonna wait till next turn. I don't think there's anything else to do. All of our heroes have been taken care of. Yep. Oh, this is a new quest that has been issued, yeah. Okay, so we need to get a mortar in order to do this one. That's not a big deal. Okay. Get the turn ended. Moving on. Alright, so I think this is maybe a good place to end the video. We are about an hour in, but I actually want to, before we end the video, I want to see if my diplomacy thing has worked. So we're on turn 7. Let's go with attitude, and now you can see we are much better.
It is good to see fellow sons of the Empire this day.
Military access and trade agreement.
Indeed.
Boom. So turn 7, we are friendly with the Midland Wolves. Old Toddbringer is best buds with us now. And we're probably just going to go right down the list here and see if we can get some more of these, because we should be able to secure a lot of these. Unfortunately, this trade route has already been blocked. They've either lost their capital or something else has happened, so probably similar with the Golden Order. Ostermark will probably give
By
us
Sigma's will,
a
come in
non-aggression pact
peace.
now.
No.
Nope. So it's still going to take a little time for them, but we're moving in the right direction with them. None of these guys can actually give me a trade route, but
What?
Wissenlin.
Approach us, friend, and make your offer.
I'll ignore that.
Still rejected, huh? These guys really don't like us that much, but our gift is going up. Or the gift is causing it to go up. It's just we're down to 6. I could have re-established a gift and bump it back up to 10 temporarily, which would speed things up, but I think because our attitude's improving, it's just a matter of a turn or two before we get these guys on our side.
Sigma's will. Come then.
Marienburg is still not
Only
there.
Sigma's god Ulrich can judge it worthy. I'll ignore that.
This is going to take a couple more turns, but as I pointed out, we did get the Midland Wolves to agree. A new mission has been ordered. A new mission has been issued. Mashing up words here. Recruit a lord. Turns to complete 11. If we recruit a lord, recruitment costs will be reduced by 15%, and we will get +1 rank on all the units. Interesting. Undercity discovered. We have discovered escape in Undercity below our settlement. We must act fast and spend money required to destroy these foul beings before they become more of a nuisance. Yes. How do I go about doing that? Here we go. Destroy the Undercity. we definitely have the money to do it, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, we also have the money to increase this, so we should do that. Still going to save our population point for Tier 3 of Altdorf. Okay, that's been taken care of. Trade agreement with Nordland has been dissolved. This likely has to do with the fact that they lost their capital, and not that they're mad at us. But our trade routes are still pumping out about 500 gold a turn, which is great. It's roughly an extra 30% of what our regular income would be. Well, I guess 30% of what our taxes would be. But it's pretty decent. Okay.
Ready.
We can get to the border, but we won't be able to attack Helmgard this turn, as I pointed out before. So I think that makes sense. Let's go ahead and walk to the border. And then we can move our wizard, who's actually passively increasing our income by 5%, which is...
The trees tell
nothing.
me much.
Well,
Great treasures, come to me.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Put him in there. We're going to stay here. I can't really do much else, so we'll just wait right there. That will heal off the last little bit for the Reichsguard, so that's good, and also most of the damage for the Halberdiers before we attack Helmgard. That's definitely not going to be this video. And because this is now done, we get to pick a new tactic, or a new technology, I should say. So there's a couple of options. Grain silo increases income from settlement buildings. Assembly line increases income from the industry buildings. Local militia, it just makes it cheaper to recruit armies, but it's going to take quite a few turns for that to happen. And then trading commodity, which is something we've spent a lot of time trying to establish, trade routes, increases it by about 8%, which is, at the moment, roughly like 40 gold. That will be more by the time this gets completed. So it's really just a matter of what we want to do. Reducing recruitment costs by 15% is significant. The thing is, we're not going to be recruiting another army for a long time. I'm not going to be waiting to recruit a second army for 7 turns. We're going to recruit one now with the other benefit that we have. % income from settlement buildings. I need to look at something real quick. Okay, so generated income. These are the settlement buildings here, I believe. And then these count as industry buildings. Yeah, so this is an industry building. This is a settlement building. So when we get to tier 3, we're going to be generating 200 income from this building. Plus 40, 40, 40, so plus 120, so 320. 10% would only be 32. 8% of 500 is going to be more. So if I'm just going with raw numbers, it appears to me that the trading commodity, even though it will take 2 turns longer, is going to produce more money, at least in the immediate future. So let's go with that one. Okay. Anything else I want to do right this second? Not that I can think of. Actually, no, there is one other thing we want to do. We want to recruit our second army now. We're quickly approaching an extra 2,000 gold. I like to keep my gold at least plus 1,000, so I don't want to build more than about 800 gold worth of upkeep. But let's look at recruiting a lord. So we have some arch-lectors, we have a few guys, we have some huntsman generals. Regal. +4 public order in local province. So of the options that we have, the Arch-Lector with the Regal probably makes the most sense. This is not going to be a lord that does a lot of fighting. This is mainly going to be a lord that we keep around for defense and to keep the peace and order in our region. I might be overvaluing the public order on a hero, though. That's actually really strong. This would make for a decent combat lord. Seems like it anyways. I also need to unlock the Volkmir the Grim DLC, which I just haven't done. But maybe that's something I do soon. I think we're going to go with this one. It's going to cost us about 1,000 gold, which is fine. But the upkeep's going to be about 200. Yeah.
Warrior of Sigmar!
Okay. So we have unlocked this. We now have raised the banners for 4 turns. And then, in addition to that, I can enact this, which actually won't take effect till next turn, I guess. But this will give us 3 turns of being able to grow the army.
Sigmarite Arch-Lector!
Alright, so what are we going to do for our first 3 units? Well, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, just like that. 1 of each, probably good enough. It's a start. Alright. He also has a couple of problems that I need to figure out. Blessed Holy War, +1 for warrior priests and witch hunters, and hero capacity +2 untainted all characters. That's interesting. And I have 2 points. Route Marcher, Inspiring Presence, hard to hit. Work of God. melee defense and physical resistance. Self only. Recharge if losing melee combat. Kind of interested in taking this just for the untainted on all characters, and also maybe getting some heroes more quickly than I would normally be able to have access to them. But I think we still require the base buildings, so getting the +1 for witch hunters doesn't actually allow us to recruit witch hunters till we get at least the minimum witch hunter building. It just lets us have an extra one. And then I will probably go Route Marcher and build down this line with him as well, at least initially. But let's see how that affected. Yeah, so now we're back to +1, and it did affect that quite a bit. So characters are now providing a total of 10 points, which is good. We should be able to maintain untainted in our area, which will help with a few things. A little bit easier. Skaven are always going to be a problem. Alright, and I guess this is where we're going to end, because since I can't really do a fight here, this actually makes some good sense to end it here. I will go ahead and end it as I usually have been ending it, with the diplomacy scan. And we're getting pretty close to not having to do this too much more. But as soon as I get the
Come then, only
non-aggression
Sigma's God.
we cannot with all of the realms of men, I'll be happy. And then more importantly, trade
Come
routes
then,
need to
only
happen.
Sigma's God, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or
No
not.
weak order.
Still not there yet. I think, did we already do this? Seems like we should have made more progress than that.
It is night. Speak thy words, and pray to thine pitiful little gods
Got
that
4
they
more
ring
turns
true.
before we can remove this without the treachery. That's fine. Alright, so we'll go ahead and end the video here, and I will continue this tomorrow for a little bit. Hopefully my internet doesn't give me problems like it did this afternoon. But so far so good. After resetting, everything seems to be working much better this evening. So that being said, I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, let me know. Leave me a comment. Tell me what I can do better. If you have advice or ideas on a strategy that I should maybe try, go ahead and write it out in the comment section. I do look at and respond to comments pretty regularly, even on older videos. Let me know. Until next time, this